So what would a geode look like if you polished it without cutting it? Well, I can tell you, I can show you, because you start out with something like this and you wonder, okay, what would that look like? What would that look like if it was polished? Before I cut it and then ended up polishing the other side, with one side really pretty and the other side, pretty bland. I can show you, you would end up with something like this. Now, this one actually did have a little bit of a problem because it started to break up a little bit. So yeah, it was a little bit of a casualty, but it was also part of an experiment, and it came out looking pretty good. You take the whole thing and notice how much it thinned down too. This is the difference. And I think it's worth it to polish the geodes whole and then cut them up. You might end up with something that looks like this, which I think is pretty awesome. And this is another one. Looks pretty good. And here's another beautiful geode, little geode, that I decided to polish. Turned out looking like that. Two more. This. And then here's the other side, which I think is pretty awesome. I'm going to show you a whole bunch more geodes that I cut up and then I polished them. There was some breakage out of all the geodes that I put in my polisher. Okay, these are the casualties. All right, let's take a look at these geodes. This is the end of step one. They've been bouncing around for a week, and we are going to see what they look like now. Oh, baby. I like what I'm seeing. Yeah, that's nice. That's really nice. Cool. Nice. This is fun. Now that has some banding in it. A little bit of agatizing going on in there. Look at that beauty. That's nice. That's very nice. This one was one that I left whole. Here's another one that has some of that castling going on and a couple of eyes there. That's neat. No need to look at all of them, I don't suppose. Ooh, that is that stroma. I like it. These are just plastic or rubber or something. I guess that helps in keeping things from breaking up too much. So add those things in there. I'll go ahead and add a couple of tablespoons of this grit. Whoa. A little dab will do ya. Okay. Seal it up nice and tight. Back in the tumbler. Seven days and 7 nights. All right, step 2 is done. It's time to take these out, rinse them off. Go ahead and put them in for step 3. Well, I do like the look of these geodes. Very nice. I like the outside of the geode. I didn't know what I would get, but I'm liking it. Alright, these are the step 3 little spacers. Put them in. Okay, this is the step 3 grit. Put 3 in. Okay. And we're all set for next week. These are all little geodes that just got put in and polished. And I think they turned out tremendously. In fact, in the future, I think I'll polish all the little geodes before I cut them up. So this one, when I cut this geode up, of course I love the look of it, but I thought, man, it's too bad I didn't polish that ahead of time and then cut it up and then have that part polished. It would have looked so much better. So just to show you some examples of some that I think turned out pretty well, there's this one, what it looks like inside. There's this one. And what that looks like inside with those little eyes. I really like this one. I think the outside is beautiful, but the inside is also really nice. And I didn't lose any of the botryoidal grape-like formations inside. Here's another one. The outside, the inside. Beautiful. The outside, the inside. Here's a good one. The outside, the inside. This one I think is just gorgeous on the outside. And it is nobody's poor sister on the inside. The outside, the inside. Very nice. This is the one that I thought was the strama. I don't think so now, but it still could be. Outside, that banding right there, that's really pretty. The outside, the inside, and this is just smooth as silk. At the outside, and the inside. This one had a chunk break off, but it still is gorgeous on the inside. And that polished up real nice there. Tiny, but outside, inside. Overall, that's a beautiful little rock. Outside, inside. the outside, the inside. That I think has some borax in it. You need to chip that out of there. So, yeah, what would this look like if I had polished it on the outside first before cutting it? And then open it up to the inside. Quite a thought. You do lose quite a bit, though. I mean, you take a look at, now this was a little bit smaller to begin with than this side, but you do lose quite a bit of that rough exterior on the outside, so it ends up being a smaller rock. But I think the reward, I mean, no doubt, the one on the left is prettier than the one on the right on the outside. Of course, you lose your object lesson of a geode where a person can be really ugly on the outside and beautiful on the inside. And of course, the inside, who we really are, that's what matters. Thanks for watching.